There is one chronic disease that is more prevalent in our world than a heart disease and cancer combined, and that is an autoimmune disease with approximately 50 million US citizens alone suffering from it. So in today's video, we're going to talk about fascinating facts about one of the most common autoimmune diseases, and that is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, how it's linked to hypothyroidism, and what it is that you need to do to help you reduce the symptoms of Hashimoto's and start thriving again. Let's get started. Hey, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 here, and together with my husband Paul Talbot, we are certified holistic nutritionists with over 10 years of experience helping you create healthy hormones and a life in the body of your dreams. If you're new here, hit subscribe and stay up to date with our latest videos. Now, as I've already mentioned, Hashimoto's thyroiditis is one of the most common autoimmune diseases. And what happens is that your immune system starts to attack and destroy your thyroid gland. And to give you my personal example, when I went to do an ultrasound scan of my thyroid many years ago, that was back in my mid-20s, I remember going there and they were scanning my thyroid and they said, "Do you have thyroid?" I said, "Yes." They said, "Well, it's just so small. It's absolutely tiny." And by that stage, I've already gone through so much damage to my thyroid from an autoimmune disease that it's shrunken because of it. And of course, then it's not producing enough hormones, and it's, lifelong hormonal replacement with the thyroid medication. So hopefully you're not at that level yet, and hopefully you'll discover this video in time to help you prevent that from happening. So your thyroid is not being gradually destroyed. And by the way, since then, I've realized what Hashimoto's was. I reversed my high antibodies. Unfortunately, what's destroyed in your body, in your thyroid, is not able to grow back. But you can at least improve the quality of your life. So let's talk more about Hashimoto's. Now, here are how things happen in our usual medical world. You go for a thyroid test, and usually they test for TSH and T4 thyroid hormone, which they consider to be a full thyroid panel, forgetting about another very important hormone, which is T3. Let's say your TSH is too high and your T4 is too low, and the doctor says you've got hypothyroidism. Let's put you on medication. You go on medication, you stay on medication. Do your symptoms improve? Maybe it works for you. Maybe it's great and you totally resolved your problem. But at the same time, the majority of people will not experience relief from a lot of their symptoms. And the majority of people will not be aware that what caused their hyperthyroidism in the first place was Hashimoto's. And what happened was this. Hashimoto's happened, then it started to attack the thyroid and destroy the thyroid gland and tissues. Then the thyroid couldn't produce enough hormones, so you started to experience thyroid symptoms. You went to the doctor with hair loss, with fatigue, with weight gain, with bloating, with low libido, and these are the symptoms that usually a lot of people experience. Perhaps anxiety, perhaps you started to have sleep problems, or maybe depression on the other hand because of it. And the doctor got you tested, you got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, medication for life, all the best. And that's the kind of advice that people usually get. Now, as a certified holistic nutritionist who has worked with hundreds of people with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's and helped them reverse their autoimmune attack and help them preserve their thyroid gland and help them lower, or some of our clients have been able to completely discontinue their medication under their doctor's supervision, I'm not okay with that approach. I'm okay with you going and getting tested, but you need to test your full thyroid panel. And whenever you go and test your thyroid, you need to make sure that you are testing your TSH, T4, T3, and the two thyroid antibodies, which are anti-TPO and anti-TG. And on top of that, if, let's say, there are some issues with your thyroid gland, it's also best for you to get an ultrasound scan done, because sometimes antibodies are not reflecting the damage that is already being done to the thyroid, and an ultrasound scan will show it. Yes, so do like the full, complete thyroid check. And if you've got hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, maybe you need to go on medication. And yes, that's going to be down to your doctor. Yes, to do that, to sort out the medication side of things. But again, as someone who approaches things from a holistic perspective, there is so much more that you can and absolutely have to do. Not that you just can do it, but you have to do it. You must do it in order to be able to get on top of things, so your thyroid gland is not being destroyed more and more. Because what medication is not going to do, medication is not going to reverse an autoimmune attack on your thyroid. Yes, it will give you more thyroid hormones, but that autoimmune attack is not going to be reversed. And what will happen is that your thyroid will be attacked more and more and more, and you'll need more and more medication, and you'll have more and more symptoms, and your life will get, unfortunately, more and more miserable because of that. So know that the root cause in the majority of cases of hypothyroidism is Hashimoto's, and you need to address Hashimoto's in order to be able to reclaim your health and your life back. Okay, so let's talk about potential triggers that could have triggered your autoimmune attack in the first place. And there are various ones. They vary from environmental issues, they vary from dietary issues, certain deficiencies, stress, intense level of stress or trauma that you might have gone through, to other issues that you could have experienced. And perhaps you went through a period of time in your life where you had a lot of hormonal shifts, and perhaps puberty, or you went through birth, or you are peri or menopausal, and there are a lot of hormonal shifts that you are experiencing, and that's starting to trigger issues to pop on the surface. So it's probably that maybe an autoimmune disease is already in your family, and it's like that chronic issue that you need to be careful of, and it's just waiting for the right trigger to come out. And a lot of it is going to be to do with nutrition and with lack of certain nutrients, and also with hormonal imbalances that you might be experiencing, like estrogen dominance, that's one of those, and also gut health issues like candida and leaky gut, which can cause an autoimmune disease. And as well as that, also eating a lot of inflammatory foods and not having a lot of toxins, and certain gut issues like dysbiosis and gut bacteria, we've talked about that already. And also maybe your liver is overloaded and it's not detoxifying you efficiently, and you've got a lot of inflammation in your body. So all those things can be a trigger for an autoimmune disease. And when addressing an autoimmune disease, you literally need to address the trigger or the triggers that created it in the first place. Now, one of the things that hypothyroidism creates is that it lowers your metabolism, and as a result of that you can start to gain weight more easily, and it'll be harder for you to shift that excess weight. So when addressing thyroid disorders, it is very important to address the weight issue. And the weight issue may be to do with the fact that your perhaps nutrition and lifestyle is out of whack, and you need to address that, and there are a lot of gaps, and maybe you're not eating certain foods. But it can also be to do with hormonal imbalances. It can be to do with conditions like PCOS, estrogen dominance. It might be to do with blood sugar imbalances that you need to address. It might be to do with the cycle that you're going through, so it's irregular, and maybe you have a lot of also inflammation in your body as a result of it. So all those things need to be addressed. So when we're looking at autoimmune diseases, know that it's linked to other systems in your body. It's definitely linked to your hormones. In fact, hormonal imbalances can cause autoimmune disorders. It is linked to your gut health. It is linked to your immunity. It is linked to your nervous system and your adrenal glands and so forth. So when addressing an autoimmune disease, it's important to understand that there are a lot of issues that need to come into balance for you to finally see the results and reduction of your symptoms, and to finally start feeling like you are yourself again, to start feeling like you found yourself among all this just constant inflammation and pain and symptoms, and just back and forth to doctors and tests and understanding what's wrong with you. You you can find yourself among that. And for that, you need the right plan. And for that, you need the right approach that's going to address different parts of your body and help you move forward. Now, there are also certain nutrients that are very crucially important for the functioning of your thyroid gland. And I'm going to name 3. There are more, but I'll name 3 to make sure that, you've got a plan. You understand what it is that you need to focus on. So vitamin D, that's a big one. And a lot of our clients have low levels of vitamin D. And some of them do live in the sunny climates, but they just don't spend enough time in the sun. Yes, so vitamin D. The second one is zinc. Zinc is a very important nutrient for the health of your thyroid. And the third one is selenium. So selenium is something that can literally help you prevent your thyroid from being damaged, because it will help you address that attack on the thyroid gland and save your thyroid gland from distraction. So these 3 nutrients are very important when it comes to balancing your thyroid. So again, addressing Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism requires a holistic plan. And that's what you have to. If you understand that, yes, you know what, maybe I'm not addressing certain aspects of my lifestyle that can really make a massive difference, then there are 2 ways in which we can help you. The first one is a free online masterclass where we will dive into the 5 steps to help you start reversing your autoimmune, Hashimoto's, hormonal, and gut health issues. So grab yourself a spot. It's been watched by thousands of people with an amazing response, and the link for that is vibewithhealth.com/training. And the second step is to work with us directly, where we will dive into your health situation, where we will help you uncover the root cause or causes of your health issues and create a plan to help you move forward and start thriving again. So the link for that is vibewithhealth.com/apply, and I'll also drop those in the description section. Alright, so in our next video, you will see one of our clients, Nydia, sharing her experience of balancing Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism and how she was able to become symptom-free in just weeks. See you there.